Something that I used to find extremely rewarding, but that I soon realized had some pretty negative consequences, was dividing my goals in a way that each one was completely individual and had nothing to do with the others. What do I mean by this? Let's say you have three major goals: running a marathon, reading 50 books in a year, and I don't know, winning a competition. Now, I think we can all agree that these three goals, objectively speaking, have nothing to do with each other. So you'll finish one, you'll finish another one, and then you'll finish the last one. And all of them will feel like extremely different, completely different things that you did for seemingly no reason. How do you actually assign some purpose to your goals? How do you actually accomplish something and move on to something new whilst actually thinking that the previous thing you've done actually had some purpose? Well, I really like to call this the loop of problems or problem looping, whatever you want to. It's a stupid name I gave it, but whatever. You will always have problems. You will always need to set goals. What is your major problem? What is your major goal? That is what you need to ask yourself to actually start a process, a structure of assigning individual or even collective meaning to your goals. What's your main problem? What are you going to do about it? What's your goal with it? Now, let's say you want to run that marathon and you also want to read 50 books. Okay, how do you tie these things together? If you want to run a marathon and read 50 books, it's most likely, it's pretty likely that you feel weak about something because you really want to achieve some cardiovascular performance, but also want to be a profoundly intellectual person for a year, reading 50 books in one. So, what's the main problem that ties these goals together? It's probably some sense of weakness. Maybe. It doesn't need to be, it is very subjective how you tie your goals together. But let's say you feel weak and stupid. Okay, that's the main problem. Once you run that marathon, once you read those 50 books, new problems will definitely show up. And the cool thing about those new problems is that the goals that you need to set in order to solve them are, are going to be most likely directly correlated to the main problem you were trying to solve in the beginning. Being weak and stupid, I don't know, weak and dumb. This is how you start a process of looping, because this loop, this cycle of goals and problems is infinite. You will never have a, a life devoid of problems, a life devoid of the necessity to set a goal. So the best thing to do is to just create a system that ties everything together. Because if you do something individual, you probably won't have solved another thing that bothers you. But if you do two things, if you have two different goals and you achieve one and it solves one of your problems and it also kind of serves as a gateway for the goal that solves the second problem, that's when you start to create some very cool like pathways where you can solve basically everything in your life. Goals shouldn't be made to solve one specific problem. They should be made to help with a plethora of problems. Why do you want to get rich? Why does anybody want to get rich? Probably because they feel poor. That's only one problem. Maybe because they feel like they haven't given enough to their family. That's a second problem. Maybe because they feel like they do not want to work a 9 to 5 anymore. That's a third problem. Being rich, the goal of getting rich, the goal of actually putting in the work of accomplishing the actions in order to be rich solves a plethora of problems. It solves so many things That's why, like, objectively, it's a good goal. But it doesn't only solve three problems, it could solve millions. It just depends on how you perceive the goal of being rich, of getting rich, of making money. That's why objectively it's a good goal, because it has infinite possibilities, infinite problems that it can solve. Any goal can be like this. You just need to find the other problems that it can solve. If you have five main problems, not only the problem of being stupid and weak, whatever, one goal should not only help you with one of those problems, it should actually kind of feed in to the next goal that will completely solve another problem. But it should affect all five. Not only one, all five. A single goal can solve multiple problems. It can, and of course, if you were to live 1,000 years, you still wouldn't get rid of all of the problems that a person could face. Everyone is going to have problems for infinity. You can take, you can drink the elixir of life every single day, a gallon of it, and live until you see the goddamn heat death of the universe, and you still will have a problem. This is a never ending cycle. It is something that you can do for infinity. That is why setting a goal that is only individual, that only solves something for a temporary amount of time, and doesn't feed something new, is a bad idea. That's how you find a very stable purpose. That's how you find a way to actually make your goals feel good, feel purposeful, by actually creating a chain that solves every single one of your problems, and the problems that will inevitably be birthed by the solution provided by that goal. I'll see you later.